what I've learned in anything, it's better to say I don't know than to act like it. People want to fake it till they make it. It's better to say, you know what, I don't know. Can you show me? And you don't know how many more doors open up when you say I don't know. So
because I can take that expectation.
Yeah.
And the only reason that's I'm telling you one thing.
But people's egos and they want to be paid and they want protecting the bag and all that stuff.
One thing about
it, I don't know, man.
One thing about it, I did learn. I learned more than I gained
from him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it made me know more about what I needed and wanted from a manager.
Yeah.
Like literally standing on and it also showed me again what I was bringing to the table. Like when it come to any type of management or even a label, like now I know like what I truly want vision wise and like what I want from a manager. Like actually expect like, okay, this is why I'm bringing you on. I'll need you to do this, this, and this, and this.
You learned how to basically say, here's my vision. Here's my vision for you. Here's your assignment. Instead of saying, oh, you're a manager. Go manage.
Go. Whatever you do, just do it.
Yeah.
Nah. And then like, I like to meet. I like to sit down and face to face. Like the phone thing is cool and all, but like I want you to sit down and feel exactly what I'm talking about. Like this is what I mean. We can write it down because that solidifies it even more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now that you really understand what I'm saying and where I'm going with it, because I'm a visual person, so like I try to explain it as in depth as possible. So again, me learning what I do and don't want in a management situation, like he made me really realize like I'm really my own manager, bro. Like you gotta
go
through yourself,
you gotta go through some bull crap or bullshit to get to understand in paradise.
Yeah. And then the second biggest thing that I learned was to remove my expectations. Like there's no human that I have expectations for on this planet. No human. I don't have any expectations because if I do, I'm expecting you to do something. I'm allowing you to let me down.
You just
man, that is something.
You just said.
Yeah, you just said something.
No, for real.
I'm sorry, I had to pause. I was like,
I'm allowing you to let me down. So like, even with family, like, okay, I've been rapping and doing shows for 12 years now.
Yeah.
If I expected everybody who loves me to show up, then I've been let down before because because you're my dad. You're supposed to be at my basketball game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or because I make music and you say you love me, why aren't you at my shows?
So let me ask you this, and then we'll whenever Cal's ready, we're gonna keep all this too, by the way, Cal. Do you find you've changed your mindset to be more of let me appreciate and love on the people who show up
right in front of me?
Yeah,
right in front of me.
I've been going through that spell right now.
I grab their neck because, and when I say grab their neck, I love you. Kiss you on the forehead. I love you because that's what matters.
Man, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, because what I had to differentiate is because you love me, that doesn't mean you love my music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I can't feel no ways because you didn't show up because
it ain't important to you.
You love me as a person.
Yeah.
My music is something separate. You know what I'm saying? So like, just because you didn't show up, that don't mean you don't love me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I have to allow you to still show me the same love that you showed me aside from the music. Now, if you do decide to show up, now I know you full time. Like okay, this is a different type of love you have for me.
Facts.
Because this is my passion. This is nobody else's passion but mine.
Yeah.
Now, you can be at the house sharing on Facebook and doing all the rest of that. You may not have heard a song, but you sharing and you liking and you engaging. That's fine. That's a different type of love.
Yeah.
That's a different type of support. So getting off your couch, actually going to watch me do what I love to do, like that's a different type of love. That's a different type of support. And when it comes to being an artist in the music, that's what I have to rely on versus who's not there. Because if I get too caught up in who's not there, I'm gonna be jaded. I'm gonna start looking at my family and my friends and all that totally different.
Right.
I'm not gonna think you support me.
Right.
And if you call yourself my homeboy, why you not there?
Why you not there?
Yeah.
Why you not posted up?
My sister, my brother, if y'all, I'm big bro, like why y'all
not here?
Yeah. But that's not for y'all. It's not for y'all. And I had to allow y'all. You'll probably come along later. But these folks that's already right here in my face, I'm doing them a disservice by paying attention to who not there. Why am I not hugging the people who right there in front of me
and pouring into them?
Yeah. Those are the people.
Yeah. And
as an artist,
and you're cheating them out of like the full Cuatro Cinco
Hell
experience.
yeah, because I'm worried about who not there.
Yeah,
when
like,
they right there, even if it's 5 people, like
you gonna give the 5 people the best show that
man. What 5 is 50 to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm gonna lace y'all with all the merch, whatever I can do to just show my love to y'all because you don't have to be here.
Yeah, you chose to be here.
You chose to get off your couch and pay to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that
up.
being said, like that's from that situation on, like I just hone more into what I do and don't want and embracing the people in front of me. So
that's
hell
dope.
of an intro, man.
That's dope. That is dope, man.
What an intro.
Man, what an intro. So, Kyle, you ready? All right. Welcome to Different Thought, where we gloss the world like it's 2045.
Yes, sir.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Different Thought Podcast, where we examine the culture. I am your host, Mike Hayes, and this is my co-host,
Malcolm Mickey Harris.
And today we have the one and only Gloss himself, Mr. Gloss, philanthropist, entertainer, mogul, all the good stuff, man. We have Cuatro Cinco. Give it up for Cuatro Cinco.
Yeah, the biggest gloss in the world has landed. We back, maybe.
Yeah.
We back.
Yeah, man. Been a while, but we finally got you back on the show. And I finally got my co-host with me now this time. So
Popping.
Yeah.
Perfect co-host, man.
It's
my
poppin'.
dog. My dog.
brother.
Good.
So to get things started, man, let's do like we always do. Let's start off with take a shot for you. So Cuatro, as you know, this is basically, hey, we're gonna shout out somebody, big up them, or say like, man, look, y'all got me drinking again. Let's give it to Malcolm first.
Hey man, shout out to all the lovely ladies in our city.
What a way to start.
Man. For those who don't know, there's a backstory with that. Maybe one day we'll give it, but not today.
Not today. Not today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna take a shot to that.
Man. All right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got this. It's 19 Crimes, man. Cali Gold. I'm saluting. You know what I'm saying? I keep it real bubbly, real light, man. Just to keep a glossy aura, glossy energy around me. I'm taking a shot for all those that show up and support me. And you know what I'm saying? Being a full-time dad and artist and all of the above, man.
Amen.
Just
Definitely.
Just consistently
feel that.
finding a balance. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Being able to find a balance, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take a shot to myself and everybody that's supporting me and showing up.
I love it.
Hey, man, I'm on. I've been pondering on how to address this one. So I'm going to take a couple of shots. The first shot is going to be to former President Donald Trump, who had an assassination on his assassination tip on him. Many men.
Many men.
Wish death upon me. Lord, I don't cry no more. I gotta take a shot. I don't agree with his antics. However, no man should ever have to worry about being assassinated while running for president. I think that's kind of ass backwards, for lack of better words.
I agree.
So I'm gonna take this shot just for that, just to show that I too am a human. I'm not a Democrat, Republican. I don't want him in office, but I don't want him in the hospital or in a casket. So
That's real.
My other shot is, man, you know, these last 2 months have been crazy. These last 2 months have been really crazy. I've suffered losses in my family, new job, just you name it. It has happened this last few months. So I just want to give a big shot to just all those who stood beside me, checking in on me, making sure everything was straight, and in my family. So to that, we're gonna do something a little different. Put these up to the people beside us, to the people who always ride with us, to everybody above us, below, and none below us, and always keeping it real. This shot's for you. Oh yeah, and I'm drinking Uncle Nearest as well, so keeping it black.
I love it.
All right, man. So let's keep it moving. So Cuatro, what tell us a little bit about what you got going on right now, man. What's popping in Gloss world?
Man, I'm working my ass off. You hear me? Head down. I wake up and see my main motivation every day, and that's my son Lennox. So like I every day is a reminder of I don't have time to play around. I leave that to him. I really I remind myself every day. I tell myself this every day. If I die right now, what is it that I'm leaving my son? We're not talking clothes. Like, he can't wear my clothes right now. Yeah. And by the time he can wear them, this is not going to be a style. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or it's going to be something totally different that he's going to be into. So like, I just been head down, like working extremely hard, to just be the best version of me, and like to give my son a reason to like to be proud of his father. Like, give him something that I wasn't able to, like, still able to grasp and like really just look at me like, hell yeah, that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? So like, aside from like within that is, just building my brand, consistently touching my people, my city, with Gloss. And I got my new single out right now, 2045. I'm pushing that. I'm teaching myself as an artist how to push a single. Like, majority of the time when we hear an artist for the first time, it's one song. They don't play you an album and then you discover an artist. It's that one song.
It's an EP.
And it's like, okay, I'm going to go listen to more. So like, knowing when you have that record, like 2045 is that record for me. Like, even just where I am today and what that record means. Like, in 2045, my son will be 21 going on 22. Mm-hmm. That's a totally different like outlook on where we are from today.
I never thought about that. I thought it was just 2045 because it's Cuatro Cinco.
No. That's the surface.
Yeah.
That's the surface of it. But like in real life, like, what does 2045 look like?
That's what's up.
So with that being said, like, I'm creating that reality right now.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm putting in 20 years of work right now. So teaching myself how to market and promote my own way, an effective way, and a new way for just creating a blueprint for the next artist behind me that will look up to Cuatro Cinco and be like, I like the way he moves. I want to move that way. I want to be in the rooms that he's in because I'm a pop. Like, what Gloss means is so attractive that it's almost too. It's hard not to want a piece of it. It's hard not to want to be around it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm creating something that, first will last forever, and I'm gonna be able to pass down to my son, like lingo and all. Like, I got this from my daddy, but just a blueprint for artists to follow when I get to that next level. So any room that I'm in, I'm busting the door down so that the next young artist who really may not know how I did it, I'm busting the door open and creating, like I said, again, a blueprint for them to come in. Just, it's open now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, man, doing a lot of community work. God really be working within me to like take care of my city. Like I've always thought, like you take care of the people who take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
we were just talking about.
And you know, my city, like I'm not the most popular person. I wouldn't say. People know me, but I'm not the most popular rapper, and I know why.
Why?
Because I don't talk about bullshit, and I'm not in bullshit. I'm not in negative. You're not gonna catch me in negative press. I'm not. Again, I mean, I'm not with.
You walk your talk.
I walk in my purpose. You know what I'm saying? So like, what I'm doing is me. And you know what I'm saying? I don't parlay with negative energy. That's what the gloss is, nothing but positive energy. So it'd be going against my brand to be a part of anything negative. So like with that being said, like I'm just building the brand of gloss, what that means, and like the solidarity of it. So within that comes with taking care of the homeless, taking care of these babies, the next generation of Chattanooga, the next generation of world leaders. It starts at home. So like I whether it's me doing a backpack drive, I gave away 100 backpacks. We may have talked about it the last time, and I gave away 100 backpacks with supplies included. And that was just learning how to network and know that there's people that's waiting to help too, that want to help but just don't know how. So like that's opened my eyes into doing it. That was my first give back. 100% funded through Chattanooga. Like I paid for some stuff because I needed it to get off the ground. But then once I started to really network and like promote it, like I found out that there's people who are really like up people that really want to give back. They just don't know how.
Yeah.
And they want to do it without it looking funny.
Because they're so disconnected from like reality, you know?
Exactly. So it takes a person like me to really step out there and do it and want to do it on my own and consistently do it and ask for help. Yeah. You just never know who ready to help, who ready to step in that position. So again, you know what I'm saying, with the whole Gloss brand and Cuatro Cares, from backpack drives, I gave away 50 turkeys, and I'm saying this humbly, all of God, none of me. 50 turkeys, 6,000 pounds of food to the food bank, coat drives, toy drives. We're about to do August 10th.
I peeped that today.
Yeah, August 10th. I just dropped the flyer today. August 10th. Back to school, free haircuts. That's something I always wanted to do. Like giving is in me. Yeah. So like it's like just the fact that I'm speaking it and then I'm watching it manifest. Like everything that I speak is happening consistently. So yeah, that's what I'm going. Music and community and brand building.
So and I'll
long answer.
No, please. I love the convo, bro.
And so based off of the last time we spoke and this time, your energy is a little different.
Okay.
And it's not in a bad way. It's just you seem more solid in who you are. The other thing I've noticed is your business acumen has accelerated, I guess is the best word to say.
Okay.
What I'm trying to get at is I watched a podcast with Tank on it. It wasn't R&B money. It was another thing he was on, but he was talking about the music business and the R&B business. And the question I wanted to ask is about your business acumen and how you've developed it and what are some of the major lessons you've learned? Because one thing he was talking about in that discussion was, hey, back in the day, you could take a $500,000 budget and make an album and this and that. Yeah. Now, you know, it's such not for lack of better words, guerrilla warfare type of style where, you know, you can go in your basement, make a song, and it sell millions and stream millions right off the bat. So how have you adjusted with the changing of the times, and how do you continue to adjust? Because the other thing I've noticed in following you on social media, because we don't talk every day, but you don't pass up on opportunities. I've seen you in Atlanta. I'd be like, damn, did he move to the A?
He be moving, bro.
So like, what has inspired that type of, that motivation, your hustle, and then what major lessons have you learned over the years since the last time we spoke?
I think the biggest thing is that I have to create my own motion.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna create anything for me. Nobody's gonna put a opportunity in my lap. I have to create my own opportunities. And through consistently working, like, people want to see consistent work. They want to believe. Like, my job is to make you believe everything that I'm saying. Like, whether it's the way I talk, it's the way I move, or the action that I'm putting behind what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That is what makes y'all believe what I'm talking about.
Right.
Sure.
Like, gloss came out, I mean, aside from, your regular terms of how people use gloss, whether it's lip or, you know what I'm saying, other than that, like, these are things that I've never been of the norm. I've never been in a box. I've never thought one track. I've never, like, wanted to be like other people. Like, I run away from popular shit. So if a situation do come about where somebody's offering whatever the case, this is what you're not building an artist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not building a brand. Like, I'm coming with all this. So, like, you're only elevating at this point.
Gotcha.
So, I understand the streaming game and, like, the how to make money. Like, I know how to make money, and it don't come from streaming. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you understand how the music business is run, you totally look at labels and deals and all that shit.
So different.
Yeah. So, like, I can do this shit forever. Where I'm at right now, I can do this forever. I got my family. I got the girl of my dreams. I got my son, the light skinned version of me. It's a super cool, like, great energy, like baby gloss. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's not much that I want today.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is added.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if we're talking about business, who my influences are, anything like that, it's just more so I'm influenced on how to move, on what to do, like how to control the narrative.
How to do it like this, how to do it like that.
Yeah.
What about music influences? Like, do you have any, or is it
Andre 3K, CeeLo Green and Gnarls Barkley.
That's really fire.
Maroon 5. Darius Rucker. Let's see. Skrillex.
Okay, I can see. I definitely can.
Burna Boy. Travis Scott, Thug, myself. Those are just off the top, like, just because they freely express. Like, I like freely expressing, like, just, it don't matter. Like, you can't box any of those guys in.
Not one that you just named. You can I'm literally going through. I'm like, yeah.
Like, they can do whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I just like to freely express. So when it comes to, like, I like bars. You know what I'm saying? It's great. Like, I like substance. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, but, like, I like to feel. Like, make me.
So you
feel.
like vibes?
Yeah. That's
Just
make me feel. You know what I'm saying? It could be slow. Like, I want to feel it when I sing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wagon Wheel. Mm-hmm. When that shit come on by Darius Rucker, I don't even sing karaoke, but that song right there, I seen Shadow. You know what I'm saying? Oh God. So I don't know if y'all know that record, but you know what I'm saying? It's just. I
gotta go back. I gotta put it on my list.
I've heard it once or twice.
But it's just certain music, and it's time, like where I am in that time, because I'm sure I'm younger than you guys, so like. Just in the times that I grew up, like I grew up to Southern music. So like your Cash Money and
taking over
No
from
Limits.
99 2000.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's Cash Money, No Limit, and the Dungeon Family. Those three entities is what raised me.
Okay.
And then I was introduced to the Maroon 5s and outside music.
Yeah.
And my influences are just as I've listed it. They're all over the place.
So speaking of like your influences and things of that nature, and like let's talk about one of your first projects in 2017, New Age Soul. Like what do you remember about that? Like what do you remember about that project? What do you remember? What were your biggest lessons about that project? Like tell us about that.
Okay, so that was my second project I ever put out, and it was only on SoundCloud. And I just knew I wanted to experiment with somewhat of an R&B / alternate project. Like I just wanted to do something different because of my influences. Like my first project, Nothing But Work, it was more so of, it was a more crafted project. Yeah. It was very, I mean, just where I was at the time. Like I was so excited about my first project. I wanted it to be as crafted as possible, but then like New Age Soul, and I'm born in February, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm a lover at heart. I love R&B music. So I wanted to just experiment. Like New Age Soul is an experiment.
Yeah.
Like with what I could possibly do with somewhat of R&B alternate music.
I can dig it. I can dig. I ask this all the time, especially to rappers, because I'm a writer myself. And do you write the music, right? You lyrics first and then beat, or beat then music?
Beat then music, because the production, the instrumental tells me exactly what to say.
Gotcha.
Really?
I mean, exactly what to say. Like the words are there.
There, yeah.
They're there.
When you tuned in,
they're there. I'm telling you,
I watched it. Not with him, but I've watched it with others. It just comes. It's a whole process.
Majority of my records are, I'd say 90% of my records are like that.
What? So what producer you think helped create that Cuatro Cinco sound? Was it, Corey Lingo, Taylor King, Stephen Wood? Like what producer did you enjoy working with the most that helped bring your sound about, and that you continue to go back? Like you just know when you walk in, they're gonna give you that gloss music or that Cuatro Cinco sound that you're looking for.
I think when you speak on Corey Lingo, that's crazy. That's standing tall. So like that record is where I officially knew what my sound was. I just didn't know how to channel that. Yeah. Like that was the first record where I was like, oh, this sounds like me. And that's the first record that I felt like was me. Like it represented my life. It wasn't anything that I'm like fabricating or anything like that. Like it was a record, like very genuine. Like I'm speaking real life. So like, and that was one of those records that really resonated with the people. Like that's when I know, like, okay, I have a record. Like when it really resonates, because I don't write records for the public. Like I write records just for me, like just wherever I'm at in the time, like that's the records that I'm writing. So like when they really resonate and people feel and like, yeah, bro, like when I start to see the real emotion from people from certain records, like that's when I know I got something. So yeah, like at that time I'm YouTube surfing, like I'm just literally surfing, and that's how I found out what sounds I like, and what fits me wherever I am in that time. So like, you're Nothing But Work, one, New Age Soul, all the way up until Summer Jams, the first one. I was just beat surfing. That's just how I learned how to pick my production.
Did you since then have you found like that one producer that's like, all right, I'm locked in? No, not yet.
No,
still looking.
No, I think it's more so of like, okay, this is the producer that will
capture the moment,
or no, not so much of that, but craft the next project.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you walk into a project, do you walk in like hey, this is what I want to say. Now I need to find the music around that, or do you walk in and say, hey, here's an idea, and then all right, let me go looking for these beats, and then once these beats, I'll know it when I hear it, or explain that process, I guess.
I just create. Honestly, I just create a bunch of records.
Yeah.
And I do have like Nothing But Work is me. Like that's the Dirty Sprite to Future, or the there's a main, like the main course, or the
like a rodeo for Travis.
Yeah, or man, it's just so many different.
I see what you're saying.
1, 2, and 3, like that you can really like put together.
Yeah.
But like
Dream Chasers or something like that.
Yeah. So like Nothing But Work was the beginning. It was the foundation of Cuatro Cinco.
Yeah.
And then like everything else is like in between. Like you get your new age souls, where this is a room. Like I just picture this like a mansion. Just say. The floor plan is Nothing But Work. So like if you really pay attention to like the art, like Nothing But Work is just like construction. It's just kind of like idea put together, blueprint. Nothing But Work 2, I'm in the structure. Like I'm in a home where it's just like nothing but structure. There's nothing there, but just wood. Like I mean, if just kind of depends, what a house is like before you add anything to it. And then the next will be just in between. You got your summer jams, 1 and 2, and your EP L2D part 1 and 2. Just fillers, just rooms within this mansion that I'm building, which ultimately becomes the Nothing But Work mansion. But it's just breaking it down and really taking people on a journey, like a part of everything.
Gotcha.
So,
right.
Yeah.
So,
if that answers your question.
No, it does. It does.
Anti-social.
Yeah.
Walk me through that process of how that came about, how you ended up on that joint, and specifically like the mentality. Like, where were you mentally when you were there?
Okay, so the producer, Stephen Young, that was after Nothing But Work. Mm-hmm. And he hit me and was like, dog, we used to go to school together. Like, I really rock with you. Like, I'm not even remembering this guy, like, at all. He was like, but I'm an artist, and, like, I just want to shoot you this record. It's open. Like, if you're feeling it, like, do what you got to do. And I'm staying at the crib with my mom's at the time. And he sent it over, and I'm like, man, like, I think I was working at Lake Winnie at the time. And, like, I was everything but antisocial, but me personally, like I'm a secluded person. Like I can be antisocial.
You're not in the mix.
No,
that's not true.
The mix is not my thing.
No.
At heart, it's just not my thing. Yeah. So like being able to speak to that at that time, like just all my records and features have been like right on time.
Yeah.
So I was able to speak to a part of my personality that is social. And I also think we were in like really starting to ramp up on Southside Social at the time. I think it was 2016, and I was hosting, me and my DJ at the time, we were hosting Social every weekend, Fridays and Saturdays, packed out top to bottom. Like it was a party at the top, party at the bottom.
Jumping.
So it was like, yeah, like
jumping.
Never before. Like it was unreal. Like
who was your DJ? Was it?
It was King at the time.
Okay.
But I was able to speak from two different perspectives, from being out so much, but also like
low key.
Yeah.
Did you Lake Winnie? So like I grew up like half the time here with my dad, right?
Okay.
Not a lot of people know this.
All right, this is news to me.
Yeah.
Continue, sir.
So my dad went to Howard.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, my dad went to Howard and stayed on Carr Street.
Really?
Yeah. And like my uncles and everybody grew up on Carr Street. But I was here in the summers only. But I used to go to Lake Winnie every single summer. And my first like experience was the cannonball.
Okay.
And like, bro, like I was really fat to get on the cannonball. And like it really, like when you said Lake Winnie, I was like, bro, like used to get the snow cones.
Yeah.
Used to go down the you know those boats, and then used to be the shoo, you know what I'm talking about?
Boat shoot, yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing.
Yeah. Lake Winnie, man, that was really the beginning of me finding myself and like learning how to network. Like that, I got paid. That was probably the job that I got paid the least ever in my life.
Yeah.
To do the best but worst job ever because the sun made it awful. Like it was so bad it was changing the color of our clothes.
Yeah.
But I got to meet so many genuine and amazing people. Like every day I'm watching people flood into this. Like I'm not only am I having to run, I've run both sides of the park, every ride in the park, but like I'm having to interact with people.
Yeah.
Like I'm being placed, just in hindsight, like I'm being placed here so that I learn how to talk. So like I'm going from ride to ride and like learning how to communicate and just talk to random people and make their day.
It's forcing you to get out there.
Forced,
like you have no choice.
I have no choice. This is my job.
Yeah.
And they will complain like that guy sucks. Yeah. Or he has a terrible attitude, and they didn't play about that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I was able to really break out of my shell of being antisocial or just not knowing how to talk to people. And like they loved me there. I loved working there, but again, it was a job that I loved that I got paid the least, and I was able to actually start a fan base there. Like I have people that I worked with there that have become like literally best friend, like still to this day, that I'll never let go because of the relationship we built there.
Who was the first person that like told you like this is what you should be doing?
You should do this.
My grandmother. Because I started recording in her closet. I moved out of my mom's crib just on some like we was butting heads, and like I just needed to get out of that space.
Change the scenery.
Yeah. So I moved there with my grandmother and just helping her out, and I picked up I started learning how to record and engineer my own records. So like I was going from a closet filled with church clothes to the bathroom that was in the same room. So like I'm literally beat surfing all day in this room. And like as I would complete records, and my grandmothers are very religious. I love her to death. But like I'm bringing these secular records out of this room, like, but it's like 5 and 10 records in a week. Like she's like, well, you I don't know if I understand everything that you saying, but it sound good. You know what I'm saying? So she's, but like for her to say that, it was like, okay,
there's something here.
Yeah, like for her to say it just sounds good. Like I don't expect her to even know what I'm talking about, but like the fact that you think it sounds good and like that I have a direction, like, and you approve of me doing this in your house. You know what I'm saying? Because you be like, man, take that to a studio, or I don't like to hit, because I'm born and raised in the church. Like she, the one that, I mean, not drugged me, but like made sure I was Sunday, Wednesday
there,
vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We wasn't missing anything.
No,
so like,
sure.
For her to say that, that's something. And she was on my first project. And I created a record at her house called Proud of Me that was dedicated to my family and my late grandfather, which is her husband. And she was just so overjoyed for the record. I was like, okay, Granny, like, I need to figure out how to make this last as long as possible. So what I need you to do is call me, and I'm going to hang up. I'm not going to answer, but just tell me how you feel. And she let it go, and then I put that on the end of the record, and then like that, right at that point, I knew it was okay. I gotta.
You got something else.
Yeah. And then the response from that record, like I'm watching people like break down and cry from the sentiments of the record and how genuine and how pure it is because of whether what I'm talking about or just having my grandmother speak the way she did on the end of it. Yeah. So it's like that. She is a constant reminder and a driving force to, that's when I knew. She was the one that let me know, like, okay. And still to this day, like, my biggest fan.
There's nothing like a grandmother's love.
Bro. Oh, my gosh.
I swear.
I love it. I love her, too. Shout out to my granny.
That's what's up, man. So you mentioned something else earlier. You talked about performing at Southside Social. You know, as I've said, I've watched you on Instagram and other places, and you've been out here.
Yeah.
You've been in these streets. And, you know, I guess, like, what's been your most memorable performance, and what's been your most humbling performance?
Oh, man. All of that actually just happened within the last, like, month or two. So I'll shoot to Atlanta. I work a full-time job.
I'm going to say this, man. I don't know. Because I got a 7-year-old, and I have to give you your props because I don't know how somebody works a full-time job, does what you do with your music, and still is able to be, you know, there with your kid, you know, all the time. Because you seem to balance it really well. Yeah. So definitely give you your flowers there.
I appreciate that, bro. Honestly, that was my goal from the beginning. To make everything coexist.
Okay.
Everything has to work together or it's not going to work.
It's going to fall apart.
Yeah. I'm going to be too focused on
one thing.
One aspect.
Yeah. And so recently I shot off to Atlanta. I do showcases all the time just to be in front of, just to work records, just to see how people, I don't care nothing about the winnings or nothing like that. But I shot down to Atlanta to do a showcase, and it was for, I think, like $250, the winner. I go by myself. I'll hop in my truck, and as soon as I get off work at 4:30, by 6, I'm on the road. You know what I'm saying? So, because a lot of times the showcases don't start to like between 8 and 10. And then there's no structure to those. So you might not go on until 12:30, 1 o'clock.
All right.
So I went down. So you could be sitting there for
forever.
So I went down, I signed up for one. It was like $10 for a song or $20 for two. So I get down there and I walk in and there's like 2 people on the couch sleep. The DJ's playing a record. I'm in the club now. The DJ's playing a record and there's 2 people sleep and maybe 2 guys playing pool. And I'm like, okay. First, who's performing? Like, where are the performers? Like, what are we doing? And it was like, well, if we have enough performers, you know, we'll still give out the money. I'm like,
if.
No, I'm telling you, like, I just drove down here and now you telling me if. So, like, I'm like, damn, bro, I'm already here, bro. I got to perform. Yeah. So, like, I sign up and then I sit in the section. Like, it's on stage, but it's on the side. So, like, I'm by myself. Like, I moved dolo. And I guess I was like the second or third performer to... The first performer that was sitting on the couch, he was asleep. So, I think I was the second or third to sign up. So, the first performer went up. They woke him up to go up and perform. Literally, woke him up to go perform. He performed, got off stage... And then I think I was the second. And then I got up to perform, and there was no, the first performance sat down, and I performed in front of nobody. Like, absolutely nobody in front of me. But the way I know how to perform, I can perform like there's 100 people in front of me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give it my all regardless.
For sure.
So I performed, and then right after I got off stage, everybody came. Like, all the other performers, I'm telling you, like 50 people came through the door right after I stepped off stage. So I'm like, damn, bro, like, there's no way I'm winning. There's no way. So then I'm watching everybody perform. They bring their entourages, like big crowds of people.
It's hot.
dope.
It's
I'm talking
hot.
about like it's even some artists. I'm like, I'm a networker. So if I see somebody that I rock with, like let's
link up.
Let's link. Let me get your information. And you know what I'm saying? Atlanta taught me how to. That's a whole nother conversation. But Atlanta taught me how to network. Night goes on. I'm hitting my wife like, man, there's no way I'm winning this because of the simple fact that nobody saw me perform at all.
Yeah.
But the DJ, the host, the girl at the door, and brother was asleep.
But they the ones judging it.
I don't know who judged.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who to judge. So with that being said, so like the night goes on, and it's like 12:45. The last performer goes on, and then after that, everybody's sitting there waiting on them to
Decision time.
it's decision time. So they come down, giving a little speech about, everybody did great and don't be mad at whoever won. And I'm like, man, just come on. I'm already tired. I
got to drive back.
You got a 2-hour mob back.
Yeah, for sure. So but if it's gonna be late, I already get a room. Like that's the thing. Me and my wife, because I've had too many times where I drove back and like almost not made it back because I'm too tired. You know what I'm saying? Lines get blurred. But like now, if I know if it's after a certain time that I perform, I'm staying. I get up in the morning about 4:00, hit the road, and I drive right on into work and get right to it.
Yeah.
So 1:00 comes around, they gave the spiel, winner, Cuatro Cinco. Whole room go dead. Like whole room. Nobody's saying nothing.
Because they wasn't there when you performed, I guess?
Nobody saw me perform.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like, I'm like, damn, bro. Like, there's no way I won, but let me go get this money because I'm finna go on vacation. You dig? Like, I'm about to go on vacation. Like, I came down here for vacation money, you know what I'm saying? And to work records. And then I just so happened to win. And then as I'm accepting the money, the winnings, the crowd starts saying, hey, we ain't never heard his records. Can y'all at least play the song? Like, I'm like, oh, shit, can you play the song?
Get back on that stage.
Can you play the song? The host like, look, bro, you performed in front of the judges, and they said you won, bro. Get your money and get on down. All right, bro.
Say less.
Out of here. You know what I'm saying? I got the money, I got the winnings, and I'm telling you, I did not look back. Again, because I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they'll bust your head for a piece of bubble gum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is crazy. Like, and I'm by myself.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting out of there. That was a humbling, very, very humbling moment. Because at that point, like, I'm really going back and forth with God. Like, okay, you told me to come down here because I really didn't want to come. I really didn't want to get out of my bed to drive down here, and I already didn't know nothing about what was really going on. I just knew I needed to perform. Like, I just have itches where I need to get off my ass and get on the road and go perform. So he told me to stay, and because he told me to stay and I listened, that's why I won. So being able to be so in tune and to listen and to just stay still, be still is what he told me. Be still, sit down. Just you're not here for no reason. So then that was a humbling experience. Just being able to move solo and in a crowd and in competition with artists from every part of Atlanta, literally north, south, west, like every part of Atlanta was in there. And it's like, I'm from Chattanooga, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's it's just different. But that was a moment, and then being able to put a band together and perform for my first time with my band at Running Up the Chihuahuas.
Oh yeah,
That's fire.
I heard about that.
That's fire. That is so cool.
That was the most like emotional I've ever been when it come to like this, my entire journey, because like it all felt like it led up to that moment. Like I've always like, I know what a live, because I go to festivals. Me and my wife are festival goers. Like, we love live music. She come, like her parents love live music. So like, that's just something that we do as a couple. Like we just get out and whatever, Rolling Loud or Bonnaroo or wherever we our artists that we want to see, we go to concert. We just came from Chris Brown concert. We just like to do that. But I picture myself on stages, and I picture my music or hear my music on certain stages in a certain way, to be able to hear and see it on that stage
with the band,
with those people, with my band, but the people like Hits 96, like what it meant to be able to do that and the reaction.
Shout out Kevin.
Shout out Gino, man.
Shout out to my man. Those are my guys. Shout out Gino and Kev, man. They
you know
really,
Kevin?
Hey,
yeah, that's my cousin.
Man,
first cousin.
that's my guy.
Yeah.
And that's just because of the relationship that I built with Hits 96.
Okay.
Just consistently, like, just working with those guys. And I got a meeting with one of their directors Friday, just because of like the relationship that we just did the summertime sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was me and Kev did a little promotional shoot there, but that moment, like I cried. I started to cry before I got off stage. Like after my set was done and I had to like talk to the people, that's when it hit. It was like, okay, you did it.
Yeah.
Like you did it. You put this band together first and you just blew these people away. Like sound check, people were pulling out their phones.
Yeah.
That's when I knew. I was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is finna
This
be
is happening.
live.
This is
like,
happening.
This finna be like I know who I got behind me. Shout out to my guitarist Richard Long. He's a part of Opposite Box. Him and his brother Ryan Long. Shout out to my DJ Shy, one of the greatest. And shout out to my drummer Manny Munez that runs Live
Shout out
Lego.
to Manny.
Shout out to Manny, man, a real guy, real vibe, man.
Manny's A1 from
That's my
day
dog.
one.
That's my dog, man. But those guys are professionals, and even the pressures of leading up to that, to the Running Up Chihuahua show. Like my guitarist didn't come in until the day before. We only practiced one time, the day before, and he came in and absolutely blew it away. But even to kind of piggyback off that moment, and I don't. You asked
good,
a
bro.
really dope question, but between that show and the show I just put, my own first show that I just put on Sunday sundown at Live Lab at my drummer's barbershop. Like we threw a whole concert in his barbershop. Being able to finally produce my own show, like a Cuatro Cinco show, was very, very rewarding. To sell my own tickets, to sell my own merch, like to actually craft it myself. Like this is me. Like this is a Cuatro Cinco show. Like this is the moment where I figure out if I can sell tickets.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing this for 11, 12 years now. Can you sell tickets?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a realization of an artist that a lot of artists stray away from. Like even your bigger artists. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of artists don't go on their own tours.
No.
It's because they're scared to know how many tickets they can really sell.
Yeah.
And
that's why a
always
lot of
open
times
for
you put
somebody.
these openers open and then these openers become headliners because, of the crowd response and the crowd, you got to have that, as these young folks say, that riz.
No, for sure. For sure.
You got to have that charisma, man. I've watched it firsthand. Couple more questions and we'll wrap this thing up. So one thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about, Father to Father, like what is some 2000, was it September 2022? I think you said, 22 was when he was born, right?
22,
Baby
yeah.
Gloss. What's something, I know, it's life changing. Having a kid is life changing. What's some things from fatherhood's perspective? What's some things that you learned that nobody told you? Like people didn't tell you. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're never ready. Be ready to get no sleep." All the other. But what's something that you learned it, like dang, hey, I wish somebody would have told me this, or dang, this is so amazing. Why didn't nobody tell me about this part?
That's a super dope and great question. I'm very glad you asked that. There's no blueprint. Nobody told me anything.
What?
Nobody told me anything.
Man, what?
Nobody told me, and it was just kind of the same thing with marriage. Nobody told me.
I was gonna get in there too.
I literally was about to ask that.
Nobody told me anything. If anything, honestly, I probably heard negative going into being married. You know what I'm saying? But like being a dad, what it means to be a father. One of my influences is my father-in-law, because of I've been able to watch him since a teen. I've been able to watch him provide and be like a real father figure.
So you and your missus been together, what, 12 plus years?
Yeah. We actually have been going to school together since elementary.
Yeah.
And we started dating our junior year, 2012.
That's what's dope, man. Shout out to Madison, man.
And we were able to just grow up, live our lives, go to college, come back, and know that this is what we want to create. Like everything that we're doing now, we really talked about in high school. So it's not nothing is new. Like all the uncomfortable conversations, we already knew it would be this. Like so, as far as the advice on instructions or anything when it comes to fatherhood, like I had I'm creating a blueprint.
I mean, and people, to add to that, people always say like, how do you know when you're ready, or how you know when it's the one? You don't. I mean, you're never ready. You think you're ready, and then you get into it, and it's like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like, especially with fatherhood. Now, marriage, you do have signs of who your person is, but you're still not. A lot of people, what I've seen, I don't know if you agree with this or not, a lot of people get caught up in the wedding and not the marriage.
Yeah.
And then, so therefore, they get caught up in, he proposed, he got me this type of ring, we had this type of wedding. But then when it comes down to the work, when ain't nobody around, see, I kind of look at marriage and death kind of the same way, and I know this sounds morbid, but, when someone dies that's close to you, everybody comes around.
For sure.
Everybody's there to, give their condolences and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then, about a week later, you're by yourself.
For sure.
Marriage is the same way. Everybody comes around for the wedding. They want to be a part of it. They want to, celebrate you. But after about a week, and when you get back from that honeymoon, it's just you and that person. So, I know it's a very two extremes, but it's got to kind of have the same mentality. Like you have to be, strong within yourself. And so, I guess for you being an entertainer, if somebody was one of our listeners is trying to be an entertainer, has just got married, has a young one, what's your biggest advice to them?
Find a balance of make sure, well, first, before you have the child, make sure there's an understanding with your partner, the person that you're about to have a child or thinking about having a child with. Make sure they take you seriously.
Your dreams.
Whatever you're in. Well, first, you have to take it seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you have to make them believe, because I'm not gonna lie and say that my wife, even before she became my wife, that she just believed that I was just gonna be this successful artist, and because around that time I was just SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting out records, but like once you believe, and then you present the product to your partner enough, or to the point that she believes, then after that, make sure me personally, it just has to coexist. So understand what it takes, or what I'm gonna have to do.
Understand what you're gonna have to sacrifice to make everything work.
Yeah. In a nutshell.
Yeah, you gotta understand, like, sometimes sleep ain't gonna happen.
No, for sure. Sometimes I'm not gonna be able to come to bed and watch a show with you because this thought on my mind's gotta get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I may tell you I'm going to the studio, or a time that I'm gonna be out of the studio. But because the vibes are there, it may take me a little longer, and for you to understand that.
What's that like? What's that process been like of just understanding like, hey, I gotta go to the studio. I'm gonna go in this scheduled time, but I come back 3 hours later than what I said. Like, I know that wasn't always pleasant at first, but what is that process being like? Because I know I go through some of that too. I'm podcasting, but you know, we'll randomly get somebody that says, hey, let's get on the show, and at the drop of the dime, we trying to make it happen. So like, what? Explain that. Like,
I think she got it a little easier because again, I record and engineer my own shit at the crib. So like, I can just go in the other room, and I've been doing that for over 10 years now. So like, when it was time for me to transition into actually going to the studio, she understood. Okay. While
because she's seen you.
Yeah.
She's seen the work.
She's seen me hours and hours on end on one song in the next room. Like
this is not a game. Like, this is real life.
At all. But at the same, let me tell you I'm gonna be as honest as I can.
Yeah. What's up?
I don't lie.
Yeah.
Respect it.
I don't lie. When I go to the studio,
that's what you're doing.
That's where I'm at.
How do you especially in this realm of, you know, entertainment, it can be hard to stay faithful or, you know, do what you say and things of that nature. Like, how do you, what's your what do you use as your moral compass? How do you hold yourself accountable? Is it someone else in your corner that's like, hey, that's not what we need to be doing right now? Is it just all you and God? Or
that's honestly, bro. It's me, my self-conscious, and God. Like, do I want to fuck this up? You know what I'm saying? Do I really want, like, is this worth my son not having a 2-parent home?
It's like you look at that and you're just
do I really want?
Is it worth it?
Yeah, bro. Is it really? Because like, I know I'm an attractive person, and like people, like women, I know they don't care whether I'm in a relationship or not.
For some, it's up to me. For some, the fact that you're in a relationship makes you more attractive.
Even and I understand that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, it's just knowing how to maneuver when it comes to like, and I'm a energy reader. Yeah. I'm an eye contact person. So like, I'm peeping way before you think you finna shoot off. Like, I don't probably knowing. Yeah.
You're already knowing.
And then at the same time, when I go to the studio, bro, ain't nobody there but me and my engineer.
Yeah.
Ain't no extras. I don't need it. That's not where my inspiration comes from anyway. So I don't. There's no extras when I'm going there. So
not to cut you off, would you say y'all's boundaries have been set by your hard work? And what I mean by that is, you mentioned earlier, hey, she saw me go into the next room and engineer beats and do all what I needed to do for hours at a time before I went to the studio. Mm-hmm. So now she already sees the hard work and what I'm doing. So now that I've left, when I go to a studio that's not at home, she understands what I'm doing. And I guess what I'm getting at is, like, do you think that the boundary was set through the hard work?
Yeah. It's me coming back with a product.
Yeah.
It's not me being at the studio for 5-6 hours and not coming back with a song or two. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
so you coming back with "Baby Listen."
I'm wake up. This is a lot of the times, bro. Like, it be something that I recorded at home and then I take it to the studio to be actually mixed and engineered. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, when I bring it back, she's heard the song 1,000 times, but she didn't hear it this way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing back the results of me being away.
Yeah. Like,
I don't come back empty-handed when it comes to me being away. Like,
have you ever came back empty-handed? Like, have you ever came back and it's like, it just didn't go? It just didn't hit?
Because I move with purpose. Like, I don't go unless I got something that, like, I can record and do it myself. If I'm not sure, I can stay at the crib.
So I don't know if you know about, I don't know if I've told you about my background. So I grew up when Usher was here with The New Beginning. So I grew up, you know, around Usher, around the Lloyds, Sammy, all those type of artists. And the biggest thing, you hit it on the money, is like, I'm not finna go in the studio and waste my time and money. A lot of people don't understand that. Can you speak to that a little bit more?
Man.
Like, a lot of people do not understand. Like, some people go to the studio, they got they swishers, they got everything ready, and they just there to have fun or whatever. But people don't understand studio time is not cheap.
No, not at all.
And so I'm gonna walk in here and I'm gonna walk out with something.
No, for sure. Yeah. I'm coming with a song already done. Like if not already recorded, I already wrote it. So with that being said, like I'm coming in, okay, I'm sending the beat or I'm sending the files. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, to my engineer. So it's like, okay, this he already know what time it is. What we working on today. Okay, I got these songs. I need a clean version of this. We recording this record, and then I need a mix on this other record.
Always been like that.
Yes.
Like always. Like
I don't have time to waste, bro. Like only because it's like I need you. I need you to believe what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I need you to be invested. So you know what I'm saying. It's again like even I've had in different eras of my music, for lack of words. There's been driving forces of why I cannot play around. I can't BS, bro, because I'm trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm just I can't, like, even if it's like a remix or something that I'm hopping on, like, and I'm really like particular about what I'm doing. And
I've watched you over the years. I mean, I'm more so outside looking in. We were talking about a certain person.
For sure.
And, you know, I watched that interaction, and I'm trying not to disrespect this person, but no one but you and I know who we're talking about.
For sure.
I had more respect for you when you said I'm done. I'm walking away because I gotta get this is where I'm going, and you're not contributing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I respect that even more because, you know, to me, when I heard that, and when you sent me a message on Instagram about it, and I was like, "Oh, he's serious."
No, I'm dead ass.
He's serious. Because a lot of people, man, they be like, my manager ain't nothing, but they don't never leave him. My manager ain't doing this for me, but they'll stay with him. But when you hear people being like, "Hey, this ain't working," so a lot of people will tinker with things and try to make something work that just wasn't supposed to be.
Well, I gave you a year. We signed to a year.
Yeah.
I want to know what you can do in a year.
Yeah.
Because again, you're not building anything.
The value
you're here to elevate what I already have.
Yeah.
So when I notice that you're not doing that, then it's like, okay, now you're making me stagnant. And I'm not a comfortable person.
Yeah.
There's nothing about me comfortable. I'm not comfortable where we are. Like where I am today, I'm not comfortable. There's more. There's more work to do. Like I have all these feats, but it's like that's not enough. It's more work to do. Like I can't get caught up in that hype.
I respect it, man.
So
I respect that a lot, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. You had anything else you wanted to?
I mean, I could talk to you for the next 2 hours.
I was about to say, we've been out here just talking, bro.
I mean, it's just.
We definitely got to have you back on, man. You know, the next step when you get to the next level, we got to have you come back on, and then come back on before then too. And then, you know, we definitely want you, you know, locked in, and I definitely want to lock in with you and get some things because I want to talk about some of your philanthropies and your community service. Stuff that I didn't even get to talk about on the show that I was planning to talk about, but I definitely, you know, we got Ruckus at Avondale coming up in October. Me and you need to rap about that. So,
Cuatro cares, man.
Yeah, man. I do. I appreciate you coming on the show, Cuatro. You know, and before we wrap things up, you know, usually we wrap up with a Black History Black History moment called "Before You Eat." I don't know if you remember. But you know, growing up as a kid, my mom used to, before we came to dinner table, before we got to eat, we had to present a Black History fact. And so I always try to incorporate things that my mom, shout out to Angela, and my mom and my father instilled in me with everything I do. Instead, you know, going forward, I think I'm gonna start doing quotes because we're gonna have a new show called Straight Like That coming out. So be on the lookout for Straight Like That and Quick Thoughts. And Straight Like That will have more of our actual Black History facts. But today, I'm just going to do a quote.
Okay.
And I think it goes perfectly with you. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. Anybody know who said it?
I do not.
I couldn't tell you.
Harriet Tubman.
Look at you.
So, as always, to all the listeners out there, well, first of all, thank you again, Cuatro. Great conversation. Great. Love having you on, man. Love watching you grow. Love watching you excel and, you know, do what you do and keep doing it, man. We behind you. Anything you need, we got you over here. And to the listeners, as always, challenge you all to think, do, be different. Thank you for listening to Different Thought Podcast.
Gloss the world.
Gloss the world.
And gloss you trust, man.
All right.